Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning into the show. Do me a favor, share the show. Text it out to a friend. Share it to your social media. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in again. We're hitting the new year, 2026, pretty strong, and I love it. One thing I love, see, if you find happiness in the simplest things, you can live a better life. Trust me. Like, I'll give you an example. I have a reading chair in my room. My wife actually got it for me for Christmas. I used to lay in my bed and read, and it was kind of uncomfortable because I'm holding the book up while I'm laying in bed, and it's, and so I got this awesome, it's like the best way I can explain it, it's more like it's more like a breastfeeding chair, but it's like a rocking chair, but it's one of those like somewhat of a recliner, not necessarily a recliner, but it rocks. So it's definitely more of like a nursing chair for sure. But I got this nice lamp in my bedroom now next to my reading chair, and oh my goodness, I could literally like live and die in that chair and just read all day every day. And it's just like so in other words, like I love like, oh, time to go to bed, going up, and not going to bed, but I go up to read for like an hour before I go to bed. And it's a slice of heaven for me. And yes, by the way, I do read my Bible first, and then I read like something I'm very interested in. So I love it. Another thing that I guess my point that I got sidetracked on, do I have ADHD? No. I don't know. Do I? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm all over the place sometimes. And by the way, people, hang in there. I'm going to get to this Minneapolis shooting. I'm gonna get into that a little bit. And I have a different perspective than a lot of people will. Again, ADHD, I'm all over the place. But brushing my teeth, my goodness, do I love, after I brush my teeth, that freshness? Oh, do I feel fresh? I it's like one of those women commercials. Do you feel fresh? I feel fresh right now, people. I feel really fresh right now. So I just brushed my teeth. And oh, do I feel fresh? I feel good. I feel like a woman. I feel like a clean woman. I was talking to a guy earlier today, and his nose was whistling, and it took every ounce of effort I had not to crack up, because every time he breathed, you're like, what? But he kept talking. I don't know if he was aware of it, but I was like, every time he breathed, I was like, whoa. It's like a high-pitched whistle. I thought like some dogs were gonna come running. So it was funny because I'm assuming he was aware of it, and I was pretending not to be aware of it. At the same time, I find great humor in things like that. So every time he was breathing, I'm like, I could hear the whistle. It was funny. It was very funny to me. Unfortunately, Scott Adams passed away, as I said on the last episode, maybe even the episode before that. I knew this was coming, unfortunately. He knew it was coming. Handled it very well, too, by the way. He did his show up until the very last day. And one of the last words he said on his show, something along the lines of, and slightly paraphrasing, but it's like, see you guys tomorrow if I can, or something like that. I don't remember exactly how he said it, but... And of course, it never got to that point. But he's got like his ex-wife is in charge of his estate, and they're kind of still. I think they're turning it into like the school of Scott Adams or something like that now. So it's an evolution of his podcast, what it was. But I tell you, I'm really gonna miss that guy, because he did his podcast every single day, and I'm talking like on Christmas, Sundays, weekends. Like I never missed an episode. For, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years that I've been listening to him. I don't know the exact time frame, but it's been a long time, and I don't recall ever missing an episode. So very insightful, and it's sad too how certain media outlets are framing him. And speaking of framing, he always talked about how to reframe things, and that's probably one of the biggest things he taught me, is how to look at certain situations and then reframe them. But if you had to know how he thought and the things that he explained, he always explained things out. He's a trained hypnotist, so he really honestly taught me how to think certain ways, how to break things apart, the kind of like the psychology behind certain things. Really interesting, deep, but the way they're framing certain things about him, disgraced Dilbert creator, racist, like before he went on, or before he got canceled for being a racist. He was not a racist, people. I am sick of these false and fake narratives. I'll give a slight insight on it because I don't even like to spend a lot of time on it. It's false narratives. I can't stand it. It's the same thing that they did with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's a white supremacist. Ugh, it frustrates me. That kind of false narrative, especially for a man who just lost his life. He was not a racist. I know that do I know his deepest, darkest thoughts? No. But did he express anything racist? No. He explained things. They did a survey a few years ago. And the survey now, and I admit, I don't remember the exact details, but close. They did a survey, and it was something along the lines of like 70% of black people said like, they hate white people, kind of thing. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I'm a little bit not 100% accurate on this, but it was something along those lines. And he said, listen, if that's the case, then white people should probably stay away from black people. He was giving an example, and he said, like, listen, if it's that okay to be racist against white people, maybe the average person should stay away from black people. If 70% of black people are saying that, so in other words, he was kind of saying, if these 70% of black people are saying like they don't like white people, you probably shouldn't be around those 70%. And again, it's racism against white people in today's culture. The pendulum's swinging a little bit back to normalcy, but it's accepted. It's fine. So it's just odd. So he was calling that out, but of course now he got canceled, and so it's ridiculous. In my strong opinion, very good guy, taught me how to think. Really how to dig deep into things, not just surface level things like this is what it looks like, but let's dig a little deeper. Let's break things apart. So I like that about him. So, and I'm going to actually apply that a little bit to this shooting in Minneapolis, because again, I'm going to take a little bit of a different take than a lot of people might expect, or a lot of people are talking about, because a lot of people, if you listen, of course, the left says he killed her, he shot her. Okay, and it was unjustified, and he shot her. Okay, and the right saying it was justified, and I have my opinions on that. I'm going to express them, but mine are going to be a little bit different than just this and this, left and right. It's going to be a little bit more to it than that. Okay, so what I would like to say, it's easy to look at something in retrospect, and then also important in slow motion. So you could look at it in slow motion, and she puts the car in drive, and he had all this time to jump out of the way. A cop has seconds, a split decision second, okay? Again, easy. I'm not trying to make this political, people. I swear that I'm not. I'm just explaining things. They told her repeatedly to get out of the car. She was there for hours protesting, blocking the street. So let me try to skip that ADHD and try to keep this a little bit focused. Now you imagine driving down a busy street, and you park in the middle of the street so other cars can't get by. Is that acceptable? Do you think there's no situation where a cop would come and say, you need to move your car? I mean, come on, people. Some of this is just so basic. So a lot of the times, too, they just take the one isolated few seconds of things that happened, and that's the whole story. There's more to the story. She was blocking traffic for a long time. They told her repeatedly to move, and then it escalated. Get out of your car, get out of your car, get out of your car. She wouldn't get out of her car. Then she goes into reverse, and then she puts it into drive. Now, people will say, oh, she had her wheels turned. She wasn't going at him. Imagine you're that cop. Imagine, again, I'm going to go a little bit more into this, but a car's coming at you. A vehicle can be a very dangerous weapon, okay? You know this. I know this. How many people have been killed being hit by a car? The cop is in front of the car. Now, again, people retrospect, he shouldn't have been in front of the car. She should have listened. Where are we at in this society where law enforcement Law enforcement tells you. I can't imagine a situation where a cop tells me to get out of the car and I refuse. You see all these situations all the time. Again, this goes back for a long time. Michael Brown, resisting and fighting and rolling up the window and telling the cop you don't have to, and then trying to drive away, and then trying to punch a cop, and then, oh, but the cop's wrong. You know, listen to the police. Now, if you want to break it down a little bit further, which I'm going to do, simple, that he has a gun. You do not have a gun. If anyone had a gun, if you were on the street and someone, a thug, a robber came up to you and said, give me your wallet. I don't have to give you my wallet. Are you going to say that, or are you going to give up your wallet? You'd be smart to give up your wallet if a criminal is pointing a gun at you, okay? What prize do these people win? In other words, let's say, I'm not saying this, but let's say, as an example, let's say she was right. Everything that she did was right. She had every right to block the traffic. Again, I'm not saying this. I'm giving an example. In her eyes, she's right. She should be able to block traffic. She should be able to completely ignore law enforcement orders. She's right. She's right. Everything about what she is saying is right. Okay? I'm just giving an example. What did you win? You're dead. You lost your life. And I'm not saying that comically. What did you win? What's the prize? So again, in your eyes, you're correct. Here's your prize. You're dead. Your children don't have a mother now. If someone has a gun, your best, probably in most situations, it'd be wise to listen to the person holding the gun, right or wrong. Again, a criminal comes up to you, give me your wallet. Are they right? No. But what do you win? No, I'm not going to give them all. I'm fighting them. Now you get shot, you're dead. What did you win? You lost your life. And they probably took your wallet anyway. So apply that to the same example. The law enforcement has a gun, okay? They're telling you to get out of the car. Right or wrong, they're telling you to get out of the car. It probably, your best bet is to get out of the car. Not to completely disobey orders. Put the car in reverse, and then gun it straight. It's a weapon at that point, the vehicle is. He made a split decision in a second. Is he right? Is she right? She's dead. I guess, are criminal charges going to be against him? That's for other people to decide. I can give my opinion. But you never, again, people, what I'm trying to do is help people, regardless of whatever you want to say. She's right, he's right, he's wrong, she's wrong. She shouldn't have been, he shouldn't have been. Okay, she's dead. These people that are, what are you going to change? What are you going to do by just completely, again, blocking traffic? I can't imagine any one of us go down a busy street, put your car in the middle of the street, just park there and sit there. No cop's going to come up to you. And I have every right to be here. Again, right or wrong, I think it's wrong. You shouldn't be able to just park your car in the middle of the street. But let's say that were the case. Again, what do you win? So my advice, my strong advice to people who, and if you notice, again, I'm not necessarily kind of showing which side is correct. What I'm trying to say is use logic. Use logic. She won nothing. In her eyes, sure, she's right. In her eyes, she was right. Your prize is death. What did you prove? So I would highly recommend, for the most part, unless there's extreme rarity situations. Like if someone were coming at me with a gun and I knew they were going to shoot me either way, yeah, I would probably fight them. But for the most part, if someone, and I'm walking my dog and someone comes up and give me your wallet with a gun, and what do you win? So use your brain, use logic. That's where I stand on this. These people need to start thinking. Who's got the gun? They're law enforcement. They're telling me to get out of the car. I should probably get out of the car. And if she had done that, first of all, she never would have blocked traffic if she weren't, yelling at the cop the whole time and this and that and disregarding his orders. Who is he? Who does he think he's law enforcement? You don't have to agree, but the bottom line, he's law enforcement. Probably best would have been to listen to the guy with the gun, and you'd still have your life. With that, my friends, thank you for tuning into the show. Do me a favor to share the show, text it out to a friend, share it to your social media, and I will see you next time.
Daddy, Daddy, you're so awesome. Daddy, Daddy, you're so cool. Yeah! I love you, Daddy.